Hello children, today we will be doing part 2 of rational numbers, and as promised I'd be doing the addition and subtraction of rational numbers. So we all know that there are 4 fundamental operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So in this video I'd be doing addition and subtraction of the rational numbers, and in the next video we'd be covering the other two, which is the multiplication and division. So let's get started. So let's begin with the addition of rational numbers. So here we have two cases. Case number one is when the denominators are equal. Now this is your first case. When the denominators are equal. Okay, so let's take two rational numbers and let's add them. So I'm going to take minus 4 by 15, which is the first rational number, and to that I'm going to add 8 by minus 15. So I've taken these two numbers and we're going to add these two rational numbers. So what we will do is we will write this down as it is, minus 4 by 15. We will take down this plus sign as well, and now we will make a little change to this number. If you remember, I had told you that this 8 by minus 15 is also equal to minus 8 by 15. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this number in this form. I'm going to take this number in this form. That becomes easier for us to add. The reason is because in this rational number we have a negative sign in the numerator. So, and here in the second rational number we have a negative sign in the denominator. So without making any change to the first rational number, we will make the second rational number similar to the first one by changing its form to this, because this is equal to this. So we will take this form now. Okay, so I'm going to write minus 8 by 15. Now this looks very similar. Now this is your second step. Now after this, what we do is we are going to put these things in the bracket. Minus 4 plus minus 8. Now we see that the denominators are same. Now this is your case 1 wherein the denominators are equal. So we don't have to do anything much. Just take the denominator, and this becomes the common denominator for both the set of rational numbers. And now we're going to add it. So now this is the addition of the two negative numbers. So we're going to add minus 4 with minus 8. So what we get is minus 4 plus minus 8. So there are two negative numbers here. So that gives you minus 12. What we've done here is we have just added these numbers without changing the signs. So the signs of both the numbers is minus, we've just added it. So 4 plus 8 is 12 and the sign remains the same. So it's minus 12 by 15. Now this is the sum of these two rational numbers. Now if we can further reduce it to the lowest term by dividing it with a common divisor, we can go ahead and do it. So the common divisor here is 3, because 3 divides 12 and it divides 15 as well. So 3 4s gives you 12 and 3 5s gives you 15. So the answer will be, we can write it in this form. So it's minus 4 by 5. We can write it in this form. We can write it as minus 4 by 5, or we can also write it as 4 by minus 5, because this is all same. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the second case, the case number 2. The case number 2 is when the denominators are unequal. When the denominators are unequal. Now, the first thing that we are supposed to do here is we have to make the denominators equal. Now, to make the denominators equal for both the rational numbers, which we are going to add, we will have to go ahead and find out the LCM of the denominators. Let's quickly check it out. Let's take a number, let's say minus 3 by 5. Now, this is one rational number, and I'm going to add 7 by minus 10 to the first one. So what we see here is the denominators are not the same. In the previous problem, the denominators were same and it was not a big problem. So the denominators were same and we just had to add the numerators. That's all we had to do. But in this problem, the denominators are unequal. So we will have to make the denominators same. And for that, we will have to find out the LCM of 5 and 10. So I'm sure you all know how to find out the LCM. So let's take 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10, and 2 ones are 2. Now this is how you find out the LCM. It's 5 into 2 equals 5 into 2 equals 10. So this is our LCM. 10 is our LCM. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this 10 by 5, which is the denominator, and I'm going to divide this 10 by this 10. So let's take the first number. I'm taking this first number. It's minus 3 by 5. Let's simplify the first number first. So minus 3 by 5. So what I'm going to do is multiply. Okay, now I'm going to take this 10 and divide it by the denominator 5. So 10 divided by 5 gives us 2. So it's 5 twos are 10. Now I'm going to write the same 2 over here. So what I get is minus into plus is minus, and 3 twos are 6. It's always a good habit to multiply the signs before the numbers. And now 5 twos are 10. Now I have simplified this one. Now the next number that I'm going to simplify is 7 by minus 10. Now this is the number which I'm going to simplify. So here also we're going to repeat the process. So take this LCM 10 divided by the denominator 10. So what do we get here is 10 divided by 10 gives you 1. Take this 1 to the numerator. Okay, so it's 7 ones are 7, and minus into plus is minus. 10 times 1 gives you 10. So 10 ones are 10. So now let's check out. Let's write it in this form now. So it's minus 6. Now this is the answer. After simplifying minus 3 by 5, we got this answer, and after simplifying 7 by minus 10, we got this answer. We got the same answer. So 6 by 10 plus 7 by minus 10. What we see is the denominators, although the numbers of the denominators are same, however the sign is different, and I had already told you that we can write it in this form. If it's minus 4 by 5, it is equal to minus 4 by 5, which is also equal to this. So I can put the sign in the numerator, or I can put the sign in the denominator, or I can put it in between. So here what I'm going to do here is, so minus 6 by 10 as it is, I'm going to write, and 7 by 10, and the sign of the 10, it's minus 10, I'm going to take it to the numerator, because 7 by minus 10 is equal to minus 7 by 10. Now it becomes easy for us to simplify this. Now since the denominators are same, the numbers are same, and even the signs are same, now it becomes easier for me. So now let's add minus 6 and minus 7. So minus 6 and minus 7 gives me 13. It's minus 13, and if the denominators are same, we're just going to write it once. We are not going to add the denominators. Okay, we are not going to add the denominators. We are just going to add the numerators. This is what we did here. We did not add the denominators. The denominators were common. We didn't add the denominators, and I took the common denominator for both the numerators. We're just going to do the addition of the numerators. And if the denominators are same, we just write it as it is once. Similarly here also, I just wrote the denominator once and I added both the numerators. So the final answer is minus 13 by 10, because further I'm not able to further reduce it to the lowest term. Now this itself is the lowest term. So what happened in the previous one, we were able to reduce 12 by 15 to the lowest terms by dividing it with a common divisor. But here we don't have any common divisor. Now this itself is the lowest form. Okay. Now let's see how to do the problems based on subtraction of rational numbers. So here also we have two cases. Case 1 is similar to the case 1 in the addition of rational numbers. So when denominators are equal, now let's take a number. Let's say 5 by 7 minus 4 by 7. Now here also what we see is if the denominators are equal, it's damn easy. We just add or we just subtract the numerators. So since and we are not going to add anything in the denominators. We are not going to add the denominators. So it's 5 minus 4, easy, by 7. So it's 5 minus 4 gives us how much? 1 by 7. Now this is the answer. Let's take one more one more problem. So let's say 12 by 25 minus 8 by 25. Here also what we see is the denominators are same. So I'm just going to minus 8 from the 12. So 12 minus 8 by 25. We're going to perform the operation here. Denominator is going to be the same. So it's 12 minus 8 gives us 4 by 25. Okay, now we will look out how to solve the case 2 when the denominators are unequal. Now whenever the denominators are unequal, we have to follow something that is called as additive inverse. Additive inverse. Now this we can follow only when the denominators are not equal. So additive inverse, let me tell you about this. Now additive inverse, let's say we will take a number 8 by 9. The additive inverse of 8 by 9 is minus 8 by 9. Okay, if we take one more number like minus 7 by 4, minus 4 by 7. So the additive inverse of minus 4 by 7 will be 4 by 7. It's quite easy. You just have to add. If you have a negative rational number, you have to make it positive, and if you have a positive rational number, you have to make it negative. That's it. That's the additive inverse. Now when do we add this additive inverse to the rational number? When we are performing the operation of subtraction on the rational numbers, and when the denominators given in the rational numbers are unequal. Now this is the time when we use this additive inverse. Let's quickly try to solve this. So we have minus 2 by 3 minus 3 by 5. These are the two rational numbers, and I have to subtract minus 3 by 5 from minus 2 by 3. Now what we see here is, we see that the denominators are unequal, they're not the same. So the moment you see, especially for the subtraction part of it, the moment you see that the rational numbers, the denominators which are given in the rational numbers are not the same, the first thing that should click in your mind, to your mind is that additive inverse has to be added. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this as it is, minus 2 by 3 as it is, and to this, instead of the minus sign, in this is step 1, you will make a plus, a positive sign here, okay, and you will write the additive inverse of minus 3 by 5. So the additive inverse of minus 3 by 5 will be 3 by 5. Now this is your first step. So what do you do? What you do is you write this down as it is, okay, and then you change the sign from minus to plus, because here we are doing the operation of additive inverse. We are adding the additive inverse. That's why we have to change the sign from minus to plus, and the number which you're going to subtract, change the sign of that number. If the number is negative, make it positive. If the number is positive, make it negative. So what we see inside this bracket is the number is negative. It's minus 3 by 5. So I will write it as 3 by 5. It is 3 by 5 is a positive rational number. Now next is I'm going to do the same thing what I did in the case 2 of addition of rational numbers. So when the denominators were unequal. So we will find out the LCM of 3 and 5. So I'll show you how to do that. It's 3 ones are, okay, write this 5 as it is, and 5 ones are. Okay, so it's 3 into 5 gives you 15. So this is your LCM. 15 is your LCM. Now what we will do is, to the first number minus 2 by 3, okay, I'm going to multiply. Okay, so divide this 15 with the denominator 3. So 15 divided by 3 gives you how much, Ibrahim? 15 divided by 3 gives you? 45. Wrong. 15 divided by 3 gives you 5. It's because it's 3 times 5 gives you 15. So 3 times 5 gives you 15. So 15 divided by 3 gives you 5. So divide this 15, divide the 15 with 3, which is the denominator. So what you get is 3 into 5. 3 5s are 15. So 15 divided by 3 gives you 5. Now take this 5 here. Multiply the numerator also with whatever the answer that you got after dividing the LCM with the denominator. So what we're going to get is, now for the first thing, it's 2 5s are 10. So minus into plus is minus, and 3 5s are 50. Okay, this is what we're going to get after we simplify the first rational number. Now let's take the second rational number, which is 3 by 5, and we know that the LCM was 15. So we are going to divide again 15 by 5. So when we divide 15 by 5, what we get is 3. So 15 divided by 5 gives us 3. So 5 3s are 15. So multiply, take this 3 to the numerator as well. Now when we multiply it, it gives us 3 into 3, 3 into 3 gives us 9, and 5 into 3 gives us 15. Now that we have simplified both the rational numbers, the result of the first rational number, that is minus 2 by 3, that when we simplified minus 2 by 3 we got minus 10 by 15, okay, and then we change the sign from minus to plus, so plus will be here, and the result of 3 by 5, what we got is 9 by 15. So now what we see is the denominators are equal. Now it becomes easy to add just the numerators. So minus 10 plus 9 gives us minus 1, because we have to, if you have a negative sign and when you have one number and a positive sign for another number, you have to perform the operation, you have to subtract that number. So it's minus 10 plus 9 gives us minus 1. We are writing the sign of the bigger number by 15. Now this is the answer. I hope, children, you must have understood how to add and subtract the rational numbers. I thought one more tricky question I would solve for you, which is more in the form of a puzzle. So here we have to find out that number that we need to add to get this as the answer. So the question is, what should be added to minus 5 by 9 to get minus 5 by 6? It's a little tricky question and it's not difficult at all. So let me show you how to solve this. So the question says that we need to add something to this number so that we get this as the answer. So here we have to find out the rational number x. So we will say let the required number be, rational number be x. So let's consider the missing number, or that number which we are going to add to minus 5 by 9. Let's consider it, or let's assume it to be x. Now this is your first step. You are going to write the value of that missing number to be x. So this is how we're going to write it. We're going to write this number minus 5 by 9. Okay, we are going to insert that another number which is x. We don't know the value of that number x. So this is how we're going to form the equation. Minus 5 by 9 plus x should give us minus 5 by 6. That is what the question says. What should be added to minus 5 by 9 to get minus 5 by 6? Now this is a question. So I have that missing number, I've taken it to be x, so I'm going to add the value of x to this so that I can get this. So as of now we don't know the value of x. Now let's quickly go ahead and find it out. Okay, now this is your equal to sign. Now towards this is called as the LHS, that is left hand side, and this is called as the RHS, right hand side. Now this side is your right hand side and this side is your left hand side. It's the short form is called as LHS and RHS. So in between is your equal to sign. Now since I have to find out the value of x, I would write it down. X equals, okay, minus 5 by 6, and I'm going to get this minus 5 by 9 from left hand side to right hand side. So whenever I'm bringing something from the left hand side to right hand side, I have to change the sign from minus to plus. So because now I'm going to write it this way, so it's minus 5 by 9 is going to come this side, so it becomes plus 5 by 9. Always remember, anything coming from left hand to right hand or right hand to left hand, the sign changes. If it's a positive sign, it becomes negative, and if it's a negative sign, it becomes positive. So since we had minus 5 by 9, so minus 5 by 9 became plus 5 by 9. Okay, now we all know, now this is the addition of the rational numbers. Now this is in the form of addition of rational numbers. Now we're going to find out, the step number 2 will be, we are going to find out the LCM of 6 and 9. So I have already shown you how to find out the LCM of 6 and 9. So here we will take 3, because 3 divides both of them, so it's 3 2s are, 3 times 2 gives us 6, and 3 times 3 gives us 9, and it's 2 1s are 2. Okay, let's write this 3 as it is, and 3 1s are 3. 3 1s are 3. So the LCM is going to be 3 into 2 into 3. So 3 2s are 6, and 6 3s are is 18. So this is your LCM. LCM is 18. So we now know what we are supposed to do. So let's take this value, first value, minus 5 by 6, and let's divide 18 by 6. We know the procedure because this is what we did when we were doing the addition of rational numbers. So divide this 18 by denominator 6. So 18 divided by 6 gives you 3. 6 3s are 18. Now write this 3 over here in the numerator as well. So what we get is minus into plus is minus, 5 3s are 15, and 6 times 3 is 18. So this is the answer for the first rational number. Now let's solve out the second one, which is 5 by 9. So 5 by 9, similar method, similar thing we're going to do. So 18 divided by 9. Divide 18 by the denominator 9. So that gives you 2. 18 divided by 9 gives you 2. So 9 2s are 18. Now take this 2 here. So it's 5 2s are 10 and 9 2s are 18. So we have found out the results for both the rational numbers. Now quickly, now let's go ahead and find out the value of x. So this is the answer of the first rational number, that is minus 15 by 18, and this is the answer of the second rational number. For this is the answer, and for this is the answer. So it's plus, for 5 by 9 it is 10 by 18. Now we are going to find out the value of x. X equals, okay, so x equals minus 15. Now what we have done is we have made the denominators same, so it becomes easy for us to perform the operation only for the numerator. So it's minus 15 plus 10 gives us minus 5, and the denominators are same, so we just write it as minus 5 by 18. Now this is the value of x. Now 5 by 18 is the value that needs to be added to minus 5 by 9 to get minus 5 by 6. So hope this was helpful, kids, and in my next class, in my next video, I'd be doing about the multiplication and division of integers. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So stay safe and keep learning. Bye bye.